right. We made it. Whoa, you're fuzzy.
I'm fuzzy right now.
You're fuzzy.
I got a message saying that my camera was low FPS, which I wasn't sure what that meant, but that must
Oh,
be.
that's what happened when it kicked Jeremy out.
I hope it doesn't kick me out. That's my concern.
If it does, we're shutting it down. We're done. We're shutting it down.
Yeah.
We're not fighting that at all. That was awful to fight.
God, that was such a disaster.
It really was. Now I have to try to find comments. Got him, I think. Oh no.
Haven't seen comments yet on the side just yet.
I can't find everything. I think I found where the comments are.
Worst case scenario, I'm just going on the Things chat. I mean the Things Network page itself to see if I can see the comments because they're not showing up just yet.
Right, and I wonder which one they would show up from. I think that's the problem we had last time. It showed up from like the network and not any of the other pages or something like that.
Right. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Supernatural Talk. Wait, there's the comments showing up. Jan's in the comments.
Thank you for letting us know the comments work.
Yeah.
I wonder if this one will go to all of them like the other does. Yep.
Yeah, I will.
Yep, okay.
So now we know that works at the very least.
Yeah, we do. Okay. I will not do that again.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, that was not necessary. I just wanted to see.
That really brightened up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll have to find that picture.
Just trying to brighten up the screen a bit.
There we go. That's better. What is on your neck?
Oh, these are Nightmare Before Christmas style necklaces. I wear these every year in October. This one I actually wear throughout the year probably saw it last year. I wear it for a lot of the paranormal events. And then this one I usually wear for just October. I also got this and also my birthday because I got this on my 21st birthday. So it's kind of a special one to me.
I'm glad you can keep things that long because I sure can't. Things disappear for me. Like really disappear. What? Oh, it appears Eileen is
You saw that picture too?
A trunk or treat. Okay. I was trying to decipher if that was an accident.
I was trying to understand. See, I thought first it was like more of a real Halloween type event that she was just kind of pulling over somebody's house that was decorated until I really saw what it was. I'm thinking, okay, that looks interesting.
Trunk or treat. Yeah. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay. Well, it's a bit early, but more power to you. That's fun. So yeah, so I've been watching. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, but I've been watching one of our friends, and she's been posting. You know, she's witchy and amazing woman, always very sweet. But I'm watching this. They do like a what they used to call that, dear Ann or dear some crap.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember the name of it myself.
Oh, she does that. Okay, so people write into her, or I don't know. Regardless, some of her things are absolutely amazing that people are asking whether, did you share?
Not yet. I haven't. I
That's
think Jordan.
Why we have the issue. Okay.
Oh my gosh, jeez! Just saw it. Jeremy just shared in the chat. Why am I not surprised?
My baby. I don't know how to screen share with this.
Let me see if I can, because I've always been good at usually share videos. Oh wait, share screen. Wait a second. think I might be able to do this.
Well, get rid of all naughty messages first.
I don't have any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy,
Okay.
did you share already, or do I need to?
Screen share is right here.
Jeez.
Oh, it's not.
That was my
He's gonna
earbud.
put- I don't know if he has access or what. We're gonna find out. Or he can just share on his screen.
Ah, damn it. What the hell's going on? Oh, wait, here we go. Okay, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Well, first off, I had to open the picture up because I didn't have that ready yet. Okay,
Mhm.
now I got it. All right, can you see it?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna hold on. Honey, move your fingers. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, she's definitely okay. I'm gonna share this real quick. Oh, this Conjuring House thing has
It's gone completely out of control. I saw what Denise shared earlier today, and that was, I got to be honest. I mean, from what I've been hearing about, I mean that is shocking. That
until I
really is.
get mute.
What was that?
She asked me if I'm muted. The bad thing about this is, as soon as you hit live, they may not see you live, but they can hear you.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. Okay. Yeah, I actually saw that first thing this morning. That was the first post I saw, and I shared it.
I would have wanted to myself. Unfortunately, at the time when I first saw it, I was still at work, so understandably, I didn't have enough time to share it as well. But I still took a minute or so to. I still took a minute to read it.
I actually commented. It was on David Childers'
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, it was not good.
That owner is using it for all completely the wrong reasons, and even though I still don't know the full story of what really happened, it was still just like I just looked at that thing. The hell is this? And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. What's up, Ed? See ya. Oh, Jan said when the screen shared it muted.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. That's good to know. Howie, how you doing, honey? This is ridiculous because, okay, try to share it because I can't share it to our chats.
Okay, hold on.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I guess she is getting, a lot of people are saying she's affected. I don't know. I'm not there to know, but she's not a nice person. And
That's what I've heard.
she's not a mentally stable person. If you've read all that, oh my goodness. Oh, Jan, we have it. There's boycott the Conjuring House everywhere. The thing is that people need to start. The town is involved at that house somehow. She owns it, but the town is involved. I'm assuming historic location type involved, but they could get her out of there. They could get her away from there, and they need to, because the next step after what I read today, the next step is going to be she's going to hurt somebody, physically hurt somebody.
I can't even help but think also what the rest of the parent family must think about this, because I'm sure they've gotten word about this. And not to mention, I've said this a couple of times, the one that usually goes to a lot of these paracontin events is Andrea. And I know Andrea very well. She knows I'm like a grandson to her practically. She's just one of the sweetest ladies you could ever meet. And like with what she went through in that house when she was younger, it still affects her to this day. But I can't even imagine what Andrea is probably thinking right now with everything that's going on at that house. So I'm sure she's got to be just as angry about it as the rest of us are.
From what I understood, now you'd know better than I would, but from what I understood, they got rid of what she had went through.
Yes.
And now there's just kind of other things going on. But, for this person to say, oh my goodness, the spirits told me that you stole. And this person had been there for years. Or the spirits said that you're not a good person. Bitch, look. They're talking about you.
Yeah.
They have nothing to say about it. And this person, the post that I reposted, this person, the way he put it, now what really happened, I don't know. I don't know the man. But he was trying so hard to convince her he's okay, that he's not got ill intentions or, whatever else the case might be. I wouldn't have been that nice. I would have snatched her up right there.
Yeah.
After the third time,
it's also just the fact that the way how this owner's really been, has been taking advantage of it. I'm really surprised there hasn't been, like, I guess if you want to call them angry mobs of, us paranormal investigators standing right outside the house and doing all these, protests saying, get out of here. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
I'm thinking it's on the way, or something is on the way. Jeremy said he's at Whispers Estate.
That's what it is. Whispers Estate. Okay, that's why, like I said, I knew what the building was. I just couldn't remember the house was. I just couldn't remember what the name of it was.
Yeah. So, my thinking is, Jan and I have seen a person that here recently that has written some of the same scenario. She has acted the same way, written the same things that I've seen her write to, who was it she wrote to? Well, she wrote to the ex-employees and the ex-employees' daddy. I mean, I'm sure we all know who this is. But she is talking about people coming to get her and people setting things on fire and doing things that never happened. And the narrative is the same as I've seen with another person that Jan and I know. And I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm telling you, the mental state, you couldn't tell they were ever a real person by the time you see this.
Just to answer the question, yes, we are, Robert. Talking about that Conjuring house. He was asking about it.
I have to keep clicking every time.
I know. I've had to do that too. Maybe she has foresight because of what she's doing.
It's
hard to say
anything past anyone at this point. I don't know. I know a lot of people have been hurt by her, and not physically, but in many ways. What's going to happen? I don't know.
And it's really sad the way how things have gone, because that house, not only represented of what it is today, but it also represents an important part of that town's history. Unlike, again, what you see in the movie, that house has been standing since 1685. And
right.
So it's not even just the paranormal side of things on it. That house has existed before the United States was ever born. I don't even think all of the colonies were 13 colonies were fully created then. So it represents an early part of our country's history. And the fact that this woman, I don't know her name, whoever she is just like have a disregard to it. It's just sick. It really is.
Robert, when do they go there? I forgot about that. Oh, holy shit. When do they go there?
Yeah, they did. They did go over there, yeah.
No, they are.
Yeah.
Um, tell them to stay in contact with me when they're there. Um, yeah.
I was talking with Anna a couple of weeks ago. Originally, I was messaging her to let her know about the new show we have here with what Robert and Nikki do from Australia, but I haven't spoken to them since. But I'd like to know too, so I'm gonna have to reach out to them at some point soon.
Robert, will you send them that thing I just reposted? And I'll send you the link to the channel where somebody has posted all of the evidence of her doing all these things. I know it's too late for them to get their money back, but damn. I hate that someone we know is going.
Yeah. I'm definitely concerned about them, in this case, because for God's sakes, they're coming all the way out from Australia, basically coming from the other side of the world to go to something that they've probably been trying to plan out for years, and for them to just for someone like her to just cause them to turn around and go back to her, it's just it's a horrible thing, and especially how much money they have probably spent to get over here to the United States.
I know how much they spent just on location, and I feel awful, even if they live next door. Okay, Robert.
JH's reports, yeah.
Yeah. Will you link them with the channel, his YouTube, so they can see the full story? I want them prepared before they go in.
Chad said we should find someone to meet them over there and do other stuff around.
I wish I could.
I might have a few connections out in the state of Rhode Island, although obviously, unlike other states, there's not as many Rhode Island investigators, because obviously for stars, Rhode Island is such a small state that there's just not that many. But if there is anyone I could try to reach out to, I could see if I could try to connect with them.
Yeah, what I'm worried about, I mean, they had a fit over where they parked. This girl had a fit over where they parked. She had a fit about the computers they're using, that it was going to be on social media. You do have 2 hours worth of social media. That's what you pay for. It is in the contract.
Yep.
Past that, I don't know why you couldn't put out your own evidence or whatever. And she has no legal right to anything at this point. But what I'm worried about is, what if next time she escalates to breaking belongings and kicking people out? If that happens, what are they going to do? They are, across the pond from home.
Yeah. Even beyond across the pond, because that's often something we always usually say for investigators in the UK and parts of Europe, especially I would even say beyond the pond in this case, if you're talking about Australia.
Oh, she just got home last night.
Oh, wow. Hey, David. Oh, David's in the chat, speaking of which. Haven't seen him in a while.
He's actually who I reposted from.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And David's been there, and I just saw a post he made just a little bit ago. Well, I saw it a little bit ago. Sorry, I was working all day. I don't know how long ago today. He's actually going to put out something on his experiences there, previous and more recent. So I'm anxious to see that. I hate that anybody we know is going. I hate that they're in that much danger, because Jason's not putting this shit out there just I'm going to get back at. No.
Oh, it's Irene in Spooky Japan. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was okay. Jason's not doing that. What for? Fame? He's got it.
I'm really
respect. He's got it.
He definitely does. And you brought up something that just reminded me. Surprisingly, they didn't really talk, because again, they were at the Michigan Paracon that I was at a couple weeks ago. Surprisingly, they didn't really talk too much about it, because I think it was still kind of relatively brand news at the time, so they didn't want to kind of spread it. Although, to be completely honest though, because in addition to them, Andrea was originally supposed to be there. Yes. She was supposed to be at Michigan Paracon, but unfortunately that's when she had cancer, if I'm correct, or she did. I think they were able to beat it. If that's correct too, or because I remember
have not heard.
Okay, I just know that I don't know if they beat it or if she's just currently on treatment right now, but I know she is getting a lot better.
She
And,
just
and
found out when you said that,
yeah,
a while back. She had just found out.
and but she would have. But a lot of people, I spoke to a lot of people at the event. A lot of them had all said the same thing, and I'm going to say the same what they said. She really wanted to be there. She would have loved to have
Oh, I'm
seen everybody
sure.
there, and if she was there, then most likely Jason and the rest of the crew most likely would have talked about it then. But I don't think they wanted to really say anything unless Andrea was there, because again, that's where she was. That's where they originally lived back in the 70s.
Well, and he wasn't there for that. He is not there to
That
spread
too.
bullshit.
No,
He does it on his channel, and he only tells the truth. And unfortunately, I don't know him personally, so this is speculation, but I believe he's only telling part of the truth, just enough to warn people. I don't think he is telling a quarter of how deep it really goes.
I think so too. And again, I think now that you said that, now that makes a lot more sense than probably why he didn't speak about it while they were at Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's not trying to stir the shit pot.
No,
He's trying to protect people, and kind of like Mustafa, he is one of I believe, could be wrong, been wrong before. I don't know him personally. I know Mustafa. I don't know him, but I think he's one of the genuine ones. I do. That he is really, honestly trying to protect. Yes, it did happen to him and his family. I understand that, but I do believe he's trying to protect.
hey Grizzly. Well, the other thing, well, most importantly, too, another thing that should be thrown out when they came out to Michigan, obviously their intention was not to talk about it because
No.
even I have forgotten this year marked Ghost Hunter's 20th anniversary. They were there to talk about the anniversary of their show and not all the stuff that was going on with the Conjuring House. See, that's your.
Why?
I don't really say Conjuring House very often. I might have said this before, but contrary to popular belief, and I learned this from Andrea, they have never actually called it the Conjuring House. They've just simply called it the
No.
they just call it the Harrisville Haunting, and I've kind of been carrying on that tradition because now I know Andrea personally.
But
So
we know it in the community
yeah.
as, if
So
you,
I just usually refer to it by the original name.
yeah, even if you're not in the community and you hear that, you're gonna know what that is due to the movie. You're gonna
Yeah.
know what that is from here, But I just can't. I can't with all this. So yeah, we're gonna get off of that. I just had to make that
Well,
comment.
just real quick, I just want to read this what Irene said. We did
Let
an
me look.
interview
Hold
with
on.
the guy.
Let me put it up here.
Okay. We did an interview with the guy in the Conjuring House, and he flipped us off and did another interview on Get Haunted, talked as hard about it, and we were pissed about it. Screw us, right? That's why would he? Okay,
Who?
I don't
What
know.
guy from the Conjuring House? There's no guy.
I'm trying to think of who could that be.
One woman owns it.
Well, the real question is, whoever this person is, why would he flipped them off and then changed like he's a different person about it? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
If I knew who it was, I might be able to put the things together, but that's not here nor there who it is.
Right.
So I have a question, and I want to hear your opinion on this and hear the audience opinion on this. Okay. This comes up quite often. I just want to know. All right, Howie. No
Awesome.
more customers. Lock the doors. Lock the doors. I want your opinion on this. Okay. So, you see all across the internet, the community, never use a Ouija board. Don't do it. Don't use a Ouija board. Okay. I have my theory. Everybody has their own theory. My theory, and I would not use it with anybody who felt uncomfortable around it. That's just respect. That's not, but my theory is it is no different than a spirit box, a pendulum,
No.
or anything else you want to use. I asked somebody one time that was so against it. I said, why? Tell me why you think it's so bad. Well, usually the answer is people don't know how to open and close it. Okay, I'll give them that. Do we open and close a spirit box? No, we don't. Um, but if that's a belief, okay. But the main thing I got was you don't know who's coming through. Do you know who's coming through on a spirit box? I mean, are you seeing them? Because I don't. So, I'm not understanding that part of it, but that's everybody's beliefs. I want to know why you do or do not think a Ouija board's okay.
Believe it or not, what was I just thinking? I mean, I do have an Ouija board myself, though it wasn't originally mine to begin with. It was, I might have told this before, but it was originally a birthday gift from my sister when she was like 9 or 10 years old. And of course, I know this was when they were selling them at Toys R Us. And I know Toys R Us is starting to make a comeback, so there's probably no doubt in my mind. To be fair, they're most likely going to be selling them there. Although I was just another place that's selling them now, and not surprisingly, even Spirit Halloween is selling them. They even had
Oh, good.
they even had a Wednesday themed Ouija board. So I know there are a lot of people.
Okay.
See, I know a lot of people have had different opinions too on it. I mean, to be
Oh,
fair, a few years ago I was kind of against them, but now that I've kind of really gotten to understand a little bit more about Ouija boards, I'm kind of more open minded to it. I probably still won't do it myself, just for safety reasons. I'm kind of more of that person that just likes to watch and observe how people do it before I'm ready to do it myself. Oh, this is what Irene was saying.
absolutely. Okay, so I want to say it's probably the guy that they fired for no reason. If I knew his name, I could probably tell you. I've been following the whole story, and I'm sure it had nothing to do with you, him doing that. I do with all tools. Yes, she does.
Yes, she does, including herself.
She's the one that taught me. Yeah, she said that. uh, he lived there.
My co-host. You can ask her. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to ask her then.
I want to say it's the person that she accused of stealing, and the spirit's telling
Yep.
her that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I'm not. I made the mistake
mistake.
at the age of 15 to mess with the board without knowing the right and wrong. I paid for it by a car accident the next night. Ugh.
Yeah.
So Howie, and that's what I always want to ask people because I'm curious. So you in your heart believe that it was due to that not knowing and doing it wrong that the car accident happened, that it wouldn't have happened had that not happened. And I know there's more to it, so that's why I'm asking. So you know that was the reason, right? I'm always curious about that. That's like Annabelle.
Yeah.
And oh, that 10 seconds ago I knew it. The one that you have to ask permission to take a
Oh,
picture.
Robert the doll.
There we go. Yes. Now would I use it? And then okay.
Well,
Okay.
and I'm going to actually share something. I didn't have the same issue, but I'm going to kind of share something similar like this, and I bring this up a lot. That paranormal club that I used to run back in high school, I still remember that. I'll be honest, I did bring my Ouija board with to school that day when we did paranormal club. I still remember that was one of the largest gatherings we had. We probably had about 30 kids that came out to the club, and we did an Ouija board session, believe it or not. And it was I couldn't believe still to this day that we were had like 30 kids all gathered around. They all put their fingers on the planchette and were trying to ask questions. And excuse me. And it was I do remember that the planchette did move, but it was it was kind of hard to tell if it was actually moving on its own because, like I said,
Right.
there were like 30 kids
Right.
at this event, so
Yeah.
it was like if I had filmed it or anything like that, I guess you can kind of say that. I guess if it, we didn't have the live stream for Facebook back then, so even if I tried filming it, to this day, I would have said you would have you would have to be the judge on if it really did move or if it was just
Right.
kids doing it themselves. It was kind of hard to say.
We've all had that, yeah.
A lot of them said they weren't moving it themselves, but
Right.
there
But
was
I think sometimes the shaking, being scared, will too.
yeah.
Then, David, I do plan on staying in contact with them the whole time they're there. It, I'm hoping we can get somebody from over there to kind of meet them there and be close by in case something happens, because they're from Australia, for God's sake.
Yeah,
I
they're
would
coming from,
hate-
as I would say, they're coming from the land down under, probably the furthest you can go other than Antarctica, but nobody really lives there. It's not the board itself, it's the eye. That's correct.
Tools to metal type guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just no different than like you handling like hardware tools.
Well, that's what he said. Look at
Yeah,
power
look at
tools.
power tools. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like in addition to the Ouija board, even though I rarely bring it with me myself, not because I don't think it's dangerous, also because, let's be honest too, I mean, a lot of Ouija boards are pretty big, and especially if I already have a lot of my equipment with, it's hard to bring exactly everything. But I do, however, have, and I still distinguish it as a separate thing, I have a spirit board. It's one of those little circular ones, and the one you use the pendulum with.
And that's what Jan was talking about. She said that is no different. Yeah,
It's
really,
no
it's
different.
not.
It's no different, and because since I have that, it's a more suitable tool to bring to investigators. Because first off, it's smaller. You don't have to bring a whole box with you, so I'm even able to fit it in my toolbox.
Yeah, Howie, thank you. I know you know me, but I hope you understand that was not a sarcastic or in any way meant anything other than curious. Me the dog. Yeah.
I get what he's saying. Robert the dog.
I know what he said. Take money with us, and she went, yeah, of course she does. Of course she does. Because I'm sure she knows who you are and thought, oh, cha-ching.
Confronted something most would never dare to.
I hope I never have to.
I already did that myself last year. Wrong letter coming.
David, I believe it. Table tipping might have.
For the 30 yeah. Well, no, actually, it wasn't the table that we used. We did that on the ground.
Right, but table tipping, that was something they used to do. I intended to try it with one other person just to see if we could levitate it. And you've seen the table up there in the breakfast nook,
yeah,
tile
right.
and real wood. We were going to try that. Needless to say, we never got around to it. Okay, I had a resident that I did, and the people who lived there played with Ouija board. They unleashed a dark energy. They did tell me anything, so what happened because they didn't tell me. We get a lot of that in cases. Yeah, but Japan is a whole different culture. It's a whole different world. When my son comes home,
well, the person that she's probably talking about, maybe from here in the States or somewhere else, though, because just like the rest of us, she talks with a lot of investigators from other parts of the world.
No, it looks like she was doing a case.
It was a case. Okay,
had a residential, she said.
Hey, Sydney's in the chat. What's up, Sydney?
I'm using you for views. Hi, sweetheart.
She was just on one of the other shows I do. She was on Fear Fans for the first time earlier this week. So it was awesome. That was my first time. That was my first time meeting Sydney face to face finally after 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. We've chatted a few times. We've talked, obviously, like we know when she's in the chat. We've done some voicemails here and there, but that was my first time I finally got to meet Sydney face to face.
She's adorable, isn't she?
Yes, she is. And she's going to be hanging out with us on Fear Fans. So, because she saw our poster that we made, she's like, why wasn't I, like, how come I'm never invited? I felt bad on that. That's when I messaged her saying, Want to come on and hang out with us on Fear Fans? And she happily accepted along with Victoria Monday.
Yeah, Howie, I would love to hear it. I really would.
Rhonda was involved with it. Okay.
Rhonda.
Trying to think which Rhonda is that.
Yeah, that's which one is what I'm.
Yeah, they are power tools, different culture, absolutely.
Different current.
Go up, different current. Yeah.
I'm finally getting down there. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I know I'm way behind. Oh, okay. Well, Howie, I would love to have you on some night and hear your story.
Definitely. No, yeah, we're doing great, Sydney.
You're looking at this. I'm tired. It's the end of my week. I'm done.
Okay, so Irene did. Okay, so it was in the United States.
Was in America. You know, here's the thing.
She only does residentials in America.
How do you come to America? I know that here you get a lot of people wanting attention, stating that things are haunted when they're not, or they want it to be so bad that I don't know. It's
we did that
hard for the ones that need help. It does.
We did that. I remember telling you guys about this last year. We went to a bar and restaurant last year, about 40 minutes away from here, called the Bad Attitude Bar Grill. And, like whenever there's these new places that, people are requesting us to investigate with, I do a lot of times have the skeptical side.
Right. And you should. Oh.
Virtual FaceTime only one. Okay.
Okay.
I
can't do that. More power to you. I can't do that because I need to feel. I need to feel what's going on, and I can't see outside that camera what is actually going on. I can't debunk video. I mean, I can debunk. I cannot rationalize a video that somebody sends me because my answer to it is I wasn't there. I don't know what's on this side of what's going on. I don't know what's on this side of what's going on. My kids will send me videos. Mom, what do you think of this?
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Anyways, yeah, this bar and restaurant we went to, I had the skepticism first, but after a few times though, like after we stayed, well, honestly, the team member, she's not part of it anymore, but she brought a whole bunch of other people with, which normally I'm against, like people bringing their friends along with, to experience. But hey, what's up, Carl? But at the same time, though, I thought, you know what, that might be of good help because any of these friends that she brought along with could eventually be of good help, maybe for the team later on, because you never know. And also that gives me more help too, because I was hoping that it would give me some additional hands instead of me handling it. And we also had another investigator from the Chicago area that came that I knew really, really well. So it was nice to have someone else with that I know too. And the investigation that I did, it was a little bit difficult because first off, this was a really small building. We couldn't investigate the actual bar and restaurant because it was in operation during that time.
Right.
But we were able to upstairs. They have a sleeping quarter upstairs, so we were at the upstairs area, and we definitely did get a. Hey, what's up, Chanel?
How you doing, sweetheart?
I know we definitely did get a couple responses from the Ghost Box session, even though there was a lot of activity going on downstairs with the bar running, but that place was definitely interesting in my opinion. In fact, I've been meaning to get a hold of the owner. She wants to come on to the show and show at some point and talk about her experiences. So she told me about it, and I thought to myself, okay, there's no way that this could really just be a simple, person that's just trying to get this on. She told me about a story one time that she said that she believes that there are at least 3 entities that are haunting this restaurant. And she had a customer that came in that he didn't believe it. At one point she was talking about the activity that was going on. Oh, you're going to Ashmore. That's awesome, Carl.
Isn't that where Jeremy is?
No,
no, he's not. Okay.
That's Whispers Estate. This is Ashmore Estate.
You guys are so far over there. I don't know the locations.
Yeah, I know.
Carl, I'll be looking forward to hearing what happened.
See, he's only going to be 3.5 hours away from me because that's only 3.5 hours away. That's how far I am from Ashmore Estates. It's about 180 miles south of Chicago. But anyways, yeah, this guy came in and she was talking about the activity that was going on. She even asked this guy, saying, "Do you believe in ghosts?" And he's like, "No." Says he didn't believe in any of that kind of stuff. And he went to that classic example, however, that not only he didn't believe in it, but he even tried provoking, which that's never a good thing to do, whether you believe in this stuff or not.
Right.
Well, he even went as far
Oh,
as to
awesome.
standing up. He actually went as far as to standing up on one of the tables, like to try to make him expose as much as possible. Try to be as vulnerable, saying, "You're here. I'm right here. Come on, do something." You know, he was mocking whatever was there, and before you know it, something pushed him from behind. He fell off the table. I'm surprised he didn't break an arm or something. I mean, he could have seriously got injured, but he definitely still got hurt nonetheless. Soon after he got up, he's like, "Okay, I believe you now." So,
so at least he conceded. Most of them go, "No, I was drunk," or "No,
well,
I slipped," or
this guy was not drunk. He did not slip. The table did not break under his weight. I mean, it was a pretty strong table, even for a guy who was probably about 200 pounds or so. And when I heard that, I'm thinking, okay, I guess there must be definitely something going on in this bar and restaurant. So, it was, I'm hoping to go back again real soon, but this goes back to like what we were just saying. There are people out there who want to make sure that this place is haunted, but this one really proved to be, definitely. Yeah, you can, Chanel.
I have been lucky enough. Maybe it's because I'm respectful enough, but there has been times I'm like, show yourself. You want to play with the weak. Play with someone who's not. And I've been lucky.
See, this is one of those places too that, I mean, even though the building is kind of more modern, back in the day, over now 100 years ago, this was one of those areas during the Prohibition era under Al Capone's control. So imagine who else you're messing with, especially if it's involving gang members.
Well, you know what? Luckily, they don't have guns these days when they're dead.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they can still push you.
Well, they can push, and I think the worst thing I've been, like I said, I have been very lucky. The worst thing I've ever had happen was, next to having a kind of a queasy feeling, whatever.
Excuse me.
But I was and now I can't stand the location. Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mexican tonight.
Awesome.
Is
Not going to be Italian for me tonight.
it always?
Sometimes.
What's the matter, babe? Do I need to? Okay. But I think the worst location, or the most active location I ever went to, has to be Mineral Wells, Texas. And what did they call that? I'm sure.
Is that where the Mineral Springs Hotel is?
It is. It's right next to it. What do they call that? It's right below it. You see it from the grounds. But anyway, they have lives there all the time right now. Now, when I was there, they had a rocking horse that stood 4 foot tall. And it was one of my very first investigations ever. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And looking at it. And it had a monitor on it, like a motion sensor. And it would start rocking and sing, I don't know, Ring Around the Rosies or something. Anyway, very cool. I went home and got to looking at it. It's a remote control.
Really?
The owners were out there in the camper. That's where they stay. So
they were starting.
Haunted Hill House. Duh.
They were staging some of the activity.
I believe so. I have no proof. I just know that was remote control. Robert. The house itself, is it haunted? Yes. They have what they call the scratch room, where people have been scratched. Okay, I'm new to this, and I'm like, I want scratched. I want something to happen. And, I'm in there with everybody not saying a word. And
Real sorry to interrupt. Chanel is she's got to go lay down. I hope you're doing all right. Chanel.
okay.
I know she's been through a lot lately, so I hope you're doing okay. Sorry, Adrian.
Okay. So I'm in there, and all of a sudden, I feel like a cigarette was put out on my arm.
Jeez.
Now, you've heard about the scratches that are red and they burn like that, but you see scratches. There was nothing there but one tiny red dot. There was no 3 scratches. There was no anything.
And they're sure as hell, as I could already say already, sure as hell no demon. Like they always say, once you get 3 scratches, they say it's demonic. It's sure as hell no demon.
If it was demonic, they're going to do a lot worse than scratch you. They're not stopping there.
Oh, yeah. In fact, in my opinion, if it was, I've been thinking about this. If it was a real, true demon attack, not only would it be worse, I think it would be more like lacerations than actual scratches. It's like lacerations to the point that you need to get them stitched. I'm thinking, okay, maybe by then I'll believe it's a demon. But if it's just simple 3 like fingernail scratches, it's not demonic.
I don't know why 3. We'll know in the afterlife.
I've seen, well, and it's not always 3. I remember a few years ago, I had an investigator of mine who got scratched, but it was only 2 scratches.
Sure. I mean, but no, this was tiny, but you could see a little bit. It lasted probably 10 minutes and went away. No big deal, but it was real. I knew that. The rest of the stuff that happened there, I couldn't say it's real. I don't know. But, that was pretty cool. Other than that, I've really been lucky that nothing has happened.
I wish I could say the same because obviously, I still haven't been scratched. Let's not forget. And I just saw what Jan just said, like her back at the temple. And I was just thinking of at the Abbey, when I had that horrific stomach grabbing pain in my, that grabbing pain in my stomach that happened twice, which even to this day, I'm surprised I didn't get any markings out of that. But still, I've been lucky with scratches, haven't been scratched yet, but I did have the unlucky experience of probably something far more worse, typical scratches.
Yeah, and had you not, been right there with her, that might have been a whole different scenario.
Oh my God. I look back now and I just realize that, had she not been there, it would have obviously been clear that I would have been in very serious trouble.
Mm.
What's up, Rich?
Nobody would have known.
Yeah, that's why I had to say something after a minute or so. You were sucker punched in the guts, Nick. That's what Robert just said. It wasn't like a punch, though. It felt like, as I've described several times, it felt almost like something just grabbed hold of your stomach and then just twisted it as hard as they could. I mean, it was a horrific. It was not that type of pain like sometimes you feel like, your stomach's hurting, you feel like you're ready to vomit. It didn't feel like that at all. It was more like a stabbing. It definitely didn't feel like any of that at all. It was more like a stabbing pain more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful.
Yeah, and we all know, and those of us that were there know, what was there really didn't mean any harm. It was more trying to scare, trying to make us go away.
I'll still never forget that figure. Yeah, that was
We
saw it later down the hallway. That I could still make a sketch. I'm not a good sketcher, but I could still make a sketch of what I saw even a year later. You never forget that.
Yep. And that's like the crew before that saw what looked like the rake.
And that's what I think I saw, the rake too. Because it was the thing I'll never forget was the immense size of that creature. I mean, you've seen me a couple of times. I'm pretty tall myself. I'm about 6'1", 6'2". That creature had to have been about 9.5, 10 feet tall. It was I was dwarfed by this creature. It was huge. Like clawing for a soul, that's right. That's what happened with Caden Mask at the Monroe house, but to his heart. Okay.
That's scary.
I never heard of anything like that
Hey,
before.
Nikki.
Hey,
Yeah,
Nikki.
I've heard. Like they say, you can have a heart attack. They can cause you to have a heart attack.
Yeah. Felt a thumb and forefinger pluck my shirt once. Another time at I've heard of the Crescent Hotel. Got gut pain and severe nausea for no reason at all.
Did they get you out of there and you felt better, or did it go away on its own? That stuff is, if they can do that, what else can they do? I mean, I know they can kill you.
Honestly, when I look, even though the rake is what I believe it was
Mhm.
at the Abbey,
Yeah.
even though it was just kind of more to scare us, perhaps. I honestly, this is just my personal opinion on it, since I was the one who got attacked. It probably would have killed me had it chosen to do so.
Oh, I think any of them can if they choose. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, with the heart, it's an energy. Jan said it with the heart, it's an energy current, and they could change it with their frequency. Yeah, Rich said he left the lobby and immediately felt better.
Okay.
Then Robert said if they can do that, they could get a broom or mop and bucket every now and then.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They need to start cleaning around here and do their part.
Well, and one other thing too that to even just throw out, when we saw what I believe was the rake, I still remember Jan telling me look down the hallway, and we looked, and at first we saw like 3 or 4 shadow people that were at the end, and then that creature showed up shortly afterwards. This was the other part that I'll never forget. After when it showed up, all the other shadow people disappeared. So it's almost like all the other entities in the Abbey, it was like even they were afraid of it. It's like scared off these other shadow people, almost kind of like you would see with certain predators, almost like like with a lot of the shark shows I watch, they have all these sharks around them. Then all of a sudden they swim off because something scared them, because something bigger was going to be showing up, and you have like this even bigger shark. It was like the same exact thing with what we saw. Hey, Rita, it was just like a bigger predator scared off these other shadow people. Yeah. It was a tad bit taller than a rake. I thought it was about the same height, but
Yeah, I think the rakes are different sizes. And really, nobody knows what they even are. Are they a manifestation of many energies? Are they one trying to manifest them? We don't know.
and even when you look at the reports of involving the rake, I think there's also different behaviors between them, because some I heard are definitely more aggressive. There are people who said they have been attacked by a rake, while others said it was, while other times in other somewhere else it's kind of similar, like in the cases with Bigfoot. Some encounters are said to be quite aggressive, and then there's others that are just more curiosity if
Mhm.
anything else. So I think it's no different than like a Bigfoot report. But the other thing too with the rake, and even with the fictional version of it in the creepypasta legends, we don't even know exactly what the rake is. We don't know if
No.
it's we don't know if it's extraterrestrial, or if, I hate to say it, but I'll still say it anyway, whether it's like a type of demon or a cryptid or some kind of ghoul or some type of interdimensional creature, or some type of creature exists our world in the next dimension, or
Well,
even some.
we know it's interdimensional
Yeah,
because spirits are interdimensional. So,
yeah, that too. It's still hard to say exactly what it is, but for now, I've just kind of been labeling it as a cryptid. Well, I had to collect the energy for it throughout the Abbey. I do believe it is a collection of energy around it. And that was when also she was trying to, that was also around that same period she was trying to protect me too.
yeah.
Because, obviously she was the first one to respond, and she gave me this, this hug, which not only was a sign of good affection, but she was trying to pass off this protection energy
Mm-hmm.
around me to keep this thing at bay. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, like I said, I would have, who knows what would have happened to me later that night if she did not interfere.
Yeah, I've learned when she does something, I let her do it. Whatever
Yeah,
it is, I don't question it until later, and then I ask, what was going on?
it's almost like it rides energy waves. Yeah.
Well, I know she, long after that was over, we went upstairs, and I think we scared the hell out of some people.
Oh, yeah, I still remember that. Like some of the other guys that were there were not expecting what was happening to me. I mean, it was kind of funny to think that I was suffering the worst out of it, but it still freaked the hell out of everybody else who witnessed that.
Oh no, I mean when she went upstairs, when she talks about gathering the energy, I was up there with other people, and without knowing her and knowing what she does, when you see her doing some of the things she's doing, people are going, looking at me like, is she dying? I'm like, just stay back.
Let her do what she needs to do. Even though I didn't see that, I can definitely kind of picture exactly what she was doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, yeah, she scared some people until it was over.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't remember some of the. I don't remember their names, but there were some people that were there the first night, and I think by the very next morning they ended up leaving because they didn't want to. I guess it went beyond their limit or something. Well, I thought there was like one or two people who ended up leaving.
I don't think so. There was a couple we couldn't find for a little bit, but we found them.
Okay, that's probably what I'm thinking of because I was under the impression that they left. I guess I just didn't see them very much myself afterwards.
Well, one of them got locked out and slept in the truck.
Jeez. Okay, so now that I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I don't know where they went, but then when we were looking for them the next day, they were at the winery.
See, I thought first you were talking about Scott and Tammy because I know they were checking out some other areas throughout Kansas City, but no, that wasn't them. You know,
Yeah.
James was no one. We were in the balcony the next night. They were up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody still stayed there that was there, but I think some people, they had never investigated. So they didn't get any action themselves, and see it. So they went to bed.
So and honestly, I had no idea that we had a few newcomers. So I mean, not necessarily these were people I've never seen before, but that they never had been on an investigation like that before.
Yeah. Yeah. We had two young, not young, one mother daughter type that were there.
Yeah, I remember them.
That was their first.
I didn't get to really have a chance to talk to them that much, so I never
didn't either
really,
much.
yeah, I never really got to get to know exactly who they were.
Mm-mm.
And speaking of the Abbey, I don't know if you heard. You'll have to talk to Chris about this more. I did hear. I did hear from him that I think investigations might be starting up again, but I'm not entirely sure. You'll have to talk to Chris to see get more info on that. I don't know if you already had.
I have not, but you know what? See, Jan remembers everything. That's
Tanya and
that's
Nicole.
her job. I have not, but I would have to question whether it'd be the same, whether they're going to allow the same things, whether somebody's going to give the same history.
Yeah, that's. I'm kind of on the edge of that, and because what Chris said was that they were going to start the investigations again, but it was going to be obviously through a different owner. I don't really remember very much of what else he said was going to happen, but like I said, I'd message Chris personally on that to get more info because he obviously knows this better than anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the location should not have to suffer because of the owner or who's running it. Obviously, it's not the owner. This is not one person owned. But the way, unless it is a different owner, like whole different crew, I'm not going because the way they did him.
I wouldn't either. See, it's one thing if it was someone who does like what Jan just said, she supports Dennis. It's one thing if it's somebody who supports Dennis and is going to carry on that tradition. Like he or she would pick up from where Dennis left off. But it's another thing, however, though, if it's somebody else that's going to do everything differently.
Yeah. Well,
That's the thing. If it was someone who was going to carry on the tradition, like the things that Dennis did, I most likely would still go out and investigate as long as everything's still the same. But if it's somebody else, I'm with you on that. There's no way I'm going back out there if it's going to be different.
well, I mean, I don't mind different. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to be a different set of crew there completely.
Yeah.
That did not hurt Dennis the way they did.
It would have to be like a type of crew, like one that never had any connection with Dennis.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we'd have to go show him how it's really done.
Yeah, very much so.
Let me tell you how he did this. This is what works. But yeah, I mean, that's a wonderful location. I hate to see it go downhill, just like the Conjuring House, due to who's running it.
You know, I can't believe I'm even about to say this, but now all this talk about the Conjuring House and this place, I've almost kind of considered it almost like the Conjuring House of the West, because it's going through like a very similar situation. I mean, maybe not as with a crazy owner as this person is, but it's still going through something rather similar if you kind of look at it very carefully. So there's a good reason why I sometimes call it the Conjuring House of the West.
Yeah. I don't know. Owners make or break the location.
Yep. I like what Robert said. Let me tell you what. He's referring to King of the Hill, Hank Hill. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I don't watch that crap.
My dad does. He does a lot. And I sometimes watch it here and there, but I'm not that crazy of that show.
I mean, don't understand why an intelligent person watches that, because you go, what the hell?
You know they're trying to bring that show back. Did you know that?
I never knew it left.
It was like on for from I know it started back in the late 90s, 1997. I think it ran to like 2009, I think. And now they're Mike Judge is trying to bring it back, just like he did with Beavis and Butthead, which I'm not that crazy of that show either. I mean, to me, it's like that show. It's just like either one. It's just that one kind of show that I might watch if there's like nothing else good on to watch. But for the most part, I rarely watch it.
Zach likes it.
Yeah, like I said, my dad, he watches King of the Hill a lot.
I don't get it. I just don't.
Wonder if I'll say that line that Hank Hill says a lot, but that's pretty much as far as I'll go. Chance says, I wonder if there's something more to it. Mind-numbing. Yeah.
Yeah, that show is mind-numbing. That's exactly what it is. I could stare at a book page and never read a word, and it gives the same effect. Yeah, I've been doing this little cross stitch here recently, and after a while, all the little X's start blurring together. That's what I feel like.
Oh man. Oh my God, I remember Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, something to watch and not be entertained by. Well, that was a good show I remember watching when I was younger.
I didn't.
You never saw it? It was classic early 90s show.
I was raising kids.
Yeah, I wasn't around when it first started. I think it was like 1991 it broadcasted, but I was only 5 or 6 then.
The year my baby was born.
Yep, I'm giving away how young I am.
Oh, you don't have to give that away. All we got to do is look at you.
Yeah.
And then we're going to wake up one day and go, wow, you're 40. You look 40.
That's only just a decade away from me now.
And you're going to look like it soon, I hope.
Doug, that was another one I remember. Yep, that came out. I think that came out around the same period too.
Never heard
91.
of it.
Yeah, that another show, 91, 2 years before I was born.
No, I should have been graduating high school while I was having a baby.
Oh man.
That's what I was doing in 91.
Well, late '90s for me. I mean, like even then, aside from the cartoons, I mean, surprisingly, I still had the opportunity of watching X Files when it was still broadcasting at that time.
I did watch those.
Yeah, that was a good show. Jan, geez, you're making me nostalgic here. No one, Rugrats.
Rugrats.
Holy
No, I
cow.
watched that. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched a lot of those shows growing up. Those were classics.
Jan, I didn't get to tell you. You said Rugrats, and it just made me go there.
Animaniacs. Yep, that's another one. 92.
Paisley started walking.
Oh, is that who I think it is?
Like Red
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. Well, I'll throw this out too, since it's probably worth bringing up. I know you guys have probably seen pictures of my niece Madeline. She, on the other hand, she hasn't walked yet, but she has learned to start standing on her own.
Well, the thing is, apparently she's been walking for a while. I just got the video and
How old is
while
she?
we were on the show.
How old is she?
She turns a year the 9th of November.
Oh, just a year older than Madeline is, because she was born in December. So they're
Yeah,
about the same. Yeah. Madeline started learning how to stand. I mean, she's kind of learning how to. I should probably reframe what I said. She is kind of learning how to stand on her own, although she's still, holding on to things. But either way, the muscles in her legs are really starting to activate. So, but she just hasn't learned how to walk yet.
Well,
Yeah,
this
few
one
weeks
was
older.
delayed.
You're right. A few weeks older than how do you say her name?
Oh, Paisley.
Hazley. Okay. Yeah, because Madeline, she was born. I think it was December 20th. I think it was literally right before Christmas that she was born. So just less than 2 months from now, she's also going to be a year.
Yeah, Paisley was a little bit delayed because what I didn't know is, you know how some are born with that thing they have to clip under their tongue?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was for talking purposes. It's not.
That's what I figured. I thought it was for some other purpose.
It's all their muscles tighten. So her back was messed up and her neck was messed up. Like she couldn't move like normal babies.
Oh, man.
She's still got physical therapy going on. They cut that months ago, but we knew she would be delayed.
So this thing that they put in.
Was walking.
Is she? Awesome.
So this thing that they put in that you were taught, is that painful to the baby, or can they actually feel that?
Oh, that thing when they clip it, they feel it. They feel it.
Oh man,
Hey,
that's
Nick.
gotta be painful. Yeah,
Got something for you, buddy.
you do. What is that?
Crickets.
Crickets.
They're not
What are the
cockroaches.
Well, I was gonna say what's the crickets for?
The spider.
Oh, that's right.
She's eating like there is no tomorrow after she molted.
I honestly didn't think that they would eat that fast.
He's got things that die and resurrect. There's a damn yellow fish here that he calls zombie because it just floats upside like this for a long time, and then all of a sudden it'll swim, and he goes, I'm going to lose it. I'm just going to flush it because I'm going to put it out of its misery. I said, don't you dare. He couldn't come out of it. That was a month ago.
Said zombie. I was just thinking of Night of the Living Dead, but I was also thinking of that Cranberry song Zombie, along with that awesome cover of by Dead Wolves, that metal cover of Zombie.
I would not know.
Well, I should have asked, are the crickets alive or are they dead?
They're alive.
So they're going to be eaten alive. I didn't think that a tarantula like her, I honestly didn't think they even eat that fast. I thought they ate pretty slow.
They don't really eat them. They stick their fangs into them, and I got to see her actual fangs after she molted. Those some bitches 3 centimeters long. Look like snake fangs.
Yikes.
And they just dig them into them and suck out what's in there, and they'll squeeze it as they're doing it. You can see their little. I started counting legs, and I said, "There's 9. Why is there 9?" Because there's 8 legs, and then there's 2 up front that they can do this with, but they are legs. They look just like legs.
Yeah. she's like sucking them out like a vampire or some
Oh yeah,
sort.
yeah. And I'm like, I looked at this and thought, I used to pick up wild tarantulas. Never got bit. Never had hair thrown at me. And I saw her fangs. I will not touch another.
Hair thrown at you. I never. That's a new thing.
They throw
Tarantulas.
their hair that's on their legs.
I knew that. Like if you touch one of them, it makes your skin itchy.
Oh, I don't know about that. That they can throw their hair as a last resort type defense, and they aim for your eyes.
I never knew that. That's something new for me. Feed the sewer.
Love you,
clock.
Jan.
Night, Jan. Love you too.
But yeah, that's one of their defenses. And Zach was talking about, some people have had to go to the hospital and have it removed from their eyeballs. Can you imagine having a hair in your eye like that that's got whatever bacteria that is? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now because again, I'd never heard of that before. Okay, throwing hairs.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Urticating hair. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
I don't know how to say it really.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that right either. Urticating hair. I'll just say it anyway. But urticating hairs are just not thrown at an enemy at a first line defense, but are also used as an indication of territory. So it's kind of like a warning shot.
Mm-hmm. Look at their fangs. Look up their fangs and what they look like. I had no clue.
So not only are these urticating hairs on tarantulas, they're also even on some species of caterpillars too, like the woolly hair ones. It says they're barbed hairs that easily break off the caterpillar's body when the caterpillar is brushed against and can embed in a person or animal's skin. Mm-hmm. Once in your skin, these hairs can cause sudden or gradually building pain depending on the specific caterpillar. So it's probably the same thing with tarantulas too.
Yeah, look up fangs. Jeremy, we went from Conjuring House to the doll. Then we went to Japan.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then we went to Ouija boards. And now we're on spiders.
Yeah, and fangs. Holy cow, those fangs are huge.
But before she molted, I never saw them. Never saw them. So
the picture I'm looking at, here's a question. What color are the fangs?
Black.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm looking at. Black fangs.
Yep.
Almost like as if they've been dipped in oil almost.
And they look like they belong on a snake.
They do. They really do. Like vampire fangs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I said, okay, never again. Nope, I will not pick up another, ever.
There's another type of, in the talk with caterpillars too, there's one that I know that definitely has something out there. There's something they're known as puss caterpillars. And while they may look cute and fluffy looking, do not be deceived. They're obviously called puss caterpillars because it's derived the name of pussy cats. But those hairs that they have, they're not soft and something you can just simply pet. They're probably urticating hairs, but they're also kind of like quills too. So you pet one of those things and you get one of those quills stuck in your hand. They're also poisonous too. It can deliver. They're not deadly, but it can deliver horrific pain through your hand. I mean, it's like you'd wish at that point you'd have your hand cut off at that point.
Yeah, no. I think I was more scared growing up of those tomato caterpillars or tomato worms that have that spike on the butt.
Yep.
Because that spike on the end was always black. So it looked like it had stung something. I don't know whether they do or not, but I'm not trying to find out.
I don't know. I wonder though, like I just said about these puss caterpillars, I often wonder though, like once, I wonder if they're still dangerous once, because I know they're a type of moth. I wonder if they're still dangerous when they become moths. They didn't really say what happens when they get into their amigo adult.
I think so.
I think it's probably just when they're caterpillars. Got something like that here. The hairs on them make you itchy, and they are nasty here in Japan. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that Jeremy was setting up in Whisper's estate.
Attack of the Killer Tomato Bugs. Yeah.
Killer tomatoes, yeah.
I don't,
Bugs.
I'm gonna tell you what. I love animals. I do, and I don't kill them. If I have a spider in the house and it's a regular spider, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't care. It's gonna catch
like
mosquitoes and flies. But
Same thing.
we found there was a black widow the other day in the kitchen down here, and I didn't see it. I was walking toward it, and all of a sudden the thing stood up like this on its back legs at me, and it started running at me. I'm like, okay, you're done. It became a dead spider.
Jeremy said Spider Pennywise is a spider. He's referring to Stephen King's Ed near the end of the movie when he becomes a giant spider creature. So here's what it says here. I just looked it up just out of curiosity of the puss caterpillar, like the quills it's got. Caterpillar is regarded as a dangerous insect because of its venomous spines. Exposure to the caterpillar's fur-like spines lead to an immediate skin irritation characterized by a grid-like hemorrhagic papular eruption with severe radiating pain. Victims describe the pain as similar to a broken bone or blunt force trauma, or even while hot, or white hot. The reactions are sometimes localized to the affected area, but are often very severe, radiating up a limb and causing burning, swelling, nausea, headache, abdominal distress, rashes, blisters, and sometimes chest pain, numbness, or difficulty breathing. Sweating.
Sounds like snake bite.
It almost does. Sweating from the welts or hives at the site of the sting is not unusual. Now, the venom from the spines is best treated within hours of first contact. For first aid, if present, the spine should be removed by using cellophane tape. Mm-hmm. Some remedies are reported to have varying degrees of success, including ice packs, oral antihistamine, baking soda, hydrocortisone cream, juice from the stems of comfrey plants, and calamine lotion. The caterpillar sting causes a condition called, unicameral dermatitis, or uricism, I guess. I don't know. With that being contact, the most commonly reported source in the United States.
Goodness. Sounds like my Monday mornings. Lynn, what the hell are you doing on your Monday mornings?
Yeah, really.
We got another one that carries a toxin there called McCady. And if you get bitten, you need to go to the hospital. They're yellow, black color, skin swells up. Peach trees. Oh, we have peach trees here, but I don't think I've ever heard of that.
See, I have in case anyone wants to see I have a photo of what the caterpillar looks like. And again, it may look harmless, but it's really not. So this is what a puss caterpillar looks like. Kind of blends into the tree, but you can see it's got these. People do pet them because they mistakenly think that it's just furs they have. When no, those are like quills they got. Then I also have a picture of what it looks like when it becomes an adult moth.
Oh my God, Nick, look.
What? Wait, hang on a second. Nick has always wondered what I do at night. He is still too young to learn that. Okay.
You are absolutely right, he is, because if you say the word boobies, and mind you, he's in the dark right now, so you can't see it.
God, that's because I'm sharing the picture.
But he is very, very red.
Oh, real quick. Okay, so this picture was taken in Cypress, Texas.
Oh, that's strange.
And then this is what it looks like when it becomes an adult moth.
I lived in that kind of area and never saw that.
This is, when they
Sea
become
moth.
adults, they're known as the southern flannel moth. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, don't ever touch them when they're caterpillars.
Oh my gosh, there we go.
Hang on a second. Hang on, I'm just trying to keep up with the comments. 50.
We've kept up.
Oh God, he has not changed the least bit. Oh God damn it, Len.
Len, I'm gonna tell you something. We had almost a dare in a show and tell one night because I don't remember what was going on, but he was turning so red. I'm like, you know what? You need to see real boobs. Here, hang on a minute. But we were yeah, that was. We would have got it banned quickly
Yep.
and forever.
There was, what was that? Oh my God, I just thought of a really funny memory. Now I just already forgot what it was. It'll probably come back to me. No, it was not involved in what I call what. No, actually, no, it just did come back. It's hard to believe now. This was no, it was not on the shows. This was almost 10 years ago now. I can't believe it's gone by so quick. And this was when Len, I think he was still. Well, no, I don't think he was living in because Len used to live over here in Chicago, but now he lives down in Arkansas. I think he was still living in Arkansas, but I think he was coming back up to visit when we had the Chicago Ghost Conference, and we went to Chet's Melody Lounge. That was where we had the after party of the Chicago Ghost Conference, and I don't know. I'm sure Len will remember this, and I was sitting next to him at that time. I was only 22, but I was sitting next to him at the bar, and I'm with the other team members that we were still a part of at that time, and there was this girl that was sitting probably I think a few seats down from where we were, and Len was I don't remember exactly what Len was saying because again now it's been quite a number of years, but he was trying to have me get with this girl that was at the bar, and I will admit to be fair, I was blushing red like hell, yeah. And yeah, I remember you were there at my 21st birthday. I remember that. I don't remember much. Oh wait. No, actually, no, it wasn't my 21st birthday. It was my 20th. That was the year before. We didn't go to those party for that one.
I don't know. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I remember we had a ghost tour. It was the night before my 20th birthday, and even though I wasn't 21 yet, we still celebrated at a bar because that was also where we were going to be investigating. Which Ethel's party undoubtedly is a very haunted bar, but sadly, that bar has been closed for several years now. It used to be a funeral home. It's located right on the edge of Chinatown, and it definitely didn't disappoint. I missed that place so much, but nobody has ever came back and tried to repurchase and even reopen it as a normal bar. But it was definitely an awesome place to investigate. But yeah, nonetheless, we celebrated my 20th birthday there, even though I was under 21.
Yeah, somebody needs to take you to a strip club and get over all that shit.
That I don't need. I'm good.
Oh, you do. You need that.
No, I don't. Bruno Rodi haunted that. Yeah, that's right. Haunted that bar. Al Capone's main bomb guy. That's right.
That's pretty cool. I can imagine staying here instead of, facing consequences for that. Yeah.
Again, it's Chicago. I mean, well, in this case, a lot of the places had connections with Al Capone and his mob back in the day.
Yeah, just like, this, not so much here, but New Mexico, Kansas, Nebraska, that area is a lot of Jesse James and, all of that.
Put Nick in the champagne room. What the hell is the champagne room?
Lap dance, no fans,
Lap
no
dance.
spells romance. That's one word for it.
Oh God, I don't. Do I even dare ask what that is now?
Okay, we're gonna break it down. There's a nice little room with some strippers that are not out on the main, pole.
Oh God.
You sit down. It's more of the more lavish type and hidden away so that people don't have to see you.
Oh, it's one of those hidden rooms. Okay, I've seen that in some horror movies.
Kind of. And you have champagne or whatever it is you want. And you get free lap dances. And hopefully you're not wearing pants when that happens.
I'm good. I'm family oriented.
Well, that's before you have family, that's what you do. You get all that out of your system, so then when you have a family, you're not even curious. It doesn't matter.
Well, I will admit one thing, however. No, I have not done it. I would have wanted to check this place out if I had the opportunity, but I know it's going to sound you know who Eli Roth is? You know who he is?
Yep.
Yeah, famous horror film director.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he was running this place. I don't know if he still is. So I don't know exactly what, because this was like, again, now I would have said this would have been the place I would have wanted to go for my 21st birthday if I wanted to. Not surprisingly, it was located out in Las Vegas, but he ran a horror style bar. I think it was called the Gore House, I think, and it was not just for like during Halloween. It was like throughout the year. You go to this bar, it's like all horror style. They have like all these blood drinks, that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But it was also kind of a strip club. But what better way to go to? I would have wanted to go, given the opportunity. They were zombie strippers, so they had like all this makeup on them and stuff.
Okay, so you would allow a zombie stripper to do that?
I don't know about that, but I would have wanted to check it out though.
Okay, so see, there's a possibility. Okay, guys, now we know what kind we like. So, yeah.
It was all horror movie style, so I guess it would have been right up my alley, if you will.
Len, that's funny.
You never told me that, Len. I've known you for almost 15 years, and you never had told me that. Seriously?
My husband was a bouncer for a strip club for a very long time, and most of the girls are still friends.
Wow. Vampire strippers are more like I am not going that direction.
Yeah, but I don't think you want that pierced. There's too much blood going to there.
Yeah. Did you know, I just found this out a few days ago. I mean, this was like 6 years ago. I mean, it's not surprising the least bit that it was bound to happen. We've talked about a similar show like this, but it only ran for one season. There was an actual series called Paranormal Porn Stars where they had like actual adult porn stars take part in paranormal investigations at certain areas that they were. I mean, it was not meant to be like a parody of that kind of stuff. They actually were doing investigations.
Stormy Daniels still does.
I was going to say, I don't know if she was part of that series, but it would not be the least bit surprising if she was.
No, I mean, she still does.
Yeah, she still does. Yeah, that's correct. So, but it only, for some reason, it only ran for one season, but I think it ran for like 8 or 10 episodes, I think. And yeah, it was just like, again, another one of your typical paranormal shows, but it was involving adult actresses and people who've worked on movies, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so they could act, number one. I mean, let's get real. If you're going to perform in front of a camera the way they do and pretend you like it, they could act anywhere.
Yep.
That's, that's kudos to them. But Do you remember? I've only heard of it. I've never actually seen it. I don't know if it still exists where you can watch reruns or anything. But there for a while they had. It was more like the Estes method type thing where you're, in the Estes method, you're covering other senses to make others stronger. Like they say, if you go deaf, your smell gets
Like one
stronger.
of your senses gets stronger.
Yeah, so it was kind of like that in reverse. They were doing paranormal investigating naked. The reason for that
Yeah, I
was
remember you
vulnerability.
talking about that. Yeah.
And I knew a few people that did it. And it was more vulnerability than it was anything else. It
Yeah.
wasn't for any sexual reasons, and who knows what happened, because I've seen some paranormal investigations people sneak off, but that's I don't know what happened to that show or why, but that was kind of different. Oh,
That's what I read that.
okay, we got that.
That's because the other woman married the ghost patron.
Oh, well,
They can kind of act. She's talking about the porn stars.
kind of. They make it look believable.
Life naked and afraid, but naked and
Yes.
unpaid.
Yes,
Yeah.
except they did get paid for this one. I do understand the concept of being more vulnerable, because that is at your most vulnerable state. But no, I'm out. Unless I'm in there by myself, and how much more vulnerable can you get than in there by yourself? Well, naked.
There was I still remember, this was like over 15 years ago. There was a documentary that surprisingly aired on frickin' Travel Channel, and it was just like a one-time special. It wasn't meant to be like a series or anything, but I can't remember. I think it was called again, it wasn't meant to be like erotic or anything, but I think it was like Paranormal Seductions or something like that. I don't remember. Hey, what's up, Devin? She's one of the new candidates that's going to be joining my crew for Things of Illinois.
Oh,
So,
Devin, I'm going to put this disclaimer out there. Okay. The things on this show have nothing to do with him. Don't get scared. I have no filter.
I told her, you know what? Okay, I got to say that real quick. Devin, this is who I was talking about, because I had a video chat with her and also somebody by the name of Genevieve, who also lives, another candidate of mine. And I did say at one point that maybe sometime we would have them on our show as guests. And Devin was even asking at one point, saying, am I allowed to swear? It's like, doesn't matter to me. We got a show host that has no filter at all. This is who I was talking about, Devin.
Hi. Yep, that would be me. My filter, well, I'm too old for a damn filter. I don't care what somebody thinks. Like me for me or don't.
Yep, she loves you already, she says.
Awesome.
But what I was going to say, though, was there was a documentary that aired on freaking Travel Channel like 15 years ago. I don't remember if it was called like Paranormal Seductions or like Sex and I don't know exactly what it was. But it was, again, it was not meant to be erotic, but it was actually really interesting to watch. And well, like 16 years old when I watched it.
Your idea of porn?
No. No, I was going to say... it was, my mom was watching it too, but it was actually a really interesting documentary because they interviewed 3 women who claimed that they had sex with a ghost.
Oh, incubus, succubus. Yeah.
No, it was more. So the first two I thought were really interesting. I mean, for the first one they interviewed, I think she was staying at a hotel or something, and she had some type of like experience with some invisible, but she said it was more of a positive and pleasurable experience. But the other story, though, I honestly thought it was kind of really sweet because it was kind of a sad story from what I heard. The woman that they interviewed in this case was a widow, so her husband passed away, and I think at that time she was, really grieving over that her husband had died at such
Sure.
a really young age. Then one night she started feeling like something had gotten into bed with her, and she started feeling like this kind of, thrusting, almost sexual movement. But to her, even though she didn't understand what was going on at first, the interesting part is it felt familiar to her, and it felt like it was what she experienced when she had sex with her husband basically during their sex lives, and she started believing most likely it was her husband coming back, not to be like perverted or anything even after death. I think it was to have just one final time of that moment together before he moved on, because it was just a one time thing, and then afterwards she never did experience anything like that again.
Okay, let's unpack this real quick.
Okay.
She was older.
She was in her again, it's been so many years since I watched it. I mean, I think she probably was in maybe her late 40s, maybe early 50s at least, maybe like
Okay.
right at the start of 50.
So he was probably pretty close to the only person she's ever been with.
Yeah.
Okay. She's laying in bed. Okay. I know you don't know this. I'm going to break this down a little bit.
Oh God.
When you're laying there, there's only one way you're going to do that. And that's that thrusting position.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to get on all fours.
I don't know what that means. Okay.
Not going to happen. So it could have been anybody. I mean, she can believe it's him if she wants. But
I think you have to really watch it to really because she wanted some more detail. I'm just giving the shorter version of it.
ghosts don't give two shits about sex. They are way past that. That is
it's
an emotion. That is not. I have now incubus, succubus. I don't think those are. They're just malevolent, and they're. Not
they do talk. They do talk a little bit about that too. Like they talk about, I guess they call like ghostly rape or something. They talk to some investigators on the show too, and they say it's not pleasant for those that have gone through that. Broadhead Manor next July. Oh, that's just like 2 hours away from me, Len.
That's why he's asking you.
I'll definitely put it in the schedule because I don't have that scheduled yet. I mean, I haven't filled up my 2025.
Thank you.
I am not even asking what that is.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Still don't know what that is.
I'm going to let you think on that one. I won't break that one down.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah, just when you're got nothing to think about, unpack, save a horse, ride a cowboy, and see where your mind goes and where you can figure that out. Because
oh God,
I don't think I'll figure that one out for you. So, I think so. Just to be clear here, he gets all of his sex ed from here.
I did go to that class from high school.
Yeah, in high school they teach you how to put a condom on and tell you what happens when you put it in. They don't teach you real life.
Yeah, I guess they don't. The only thing they told us is that and also STDs. Devin going to okay, so oh wow, Devin said apparently it's near me. Never been. I'll go with Nick. Awesome, yeah, that would be great. To be young and innocent.
I'll just take the young. I don't give a shit about innocent.
Yeah, that's Broadhead. I follow on Facebook and see all the advertisements. Yeah, so like I said, I'm surprised I haven't gone to Broadhead. See, I told Devin this too. Like certain places that they want to investigate, I'm all open for. There's even places throughout Chicago, Northern Illinois, and Southern Wisconsin I haven't even been to yet, and Broadhead Manor is one of them.
Okay, I want to know something since this is a new platform here. Do you see pictures changing? Or is it just on my end?
I don't see any pictures.
Okay, good. No, I'm in on us. Do you see any difference that it's doing?
Like on
Okay,
camera?
good. Yeah, now I'm scrolling over the pictures and it starts dimming them.
No, I don't see any difference. Sorry, I was just reading what Devin was saying. Uh, she said she loves what you're talking about right now, Adrian.
I'm too old to give two shits about a filter.
I'll be podcasting both days and nights at Broadhead next July 18th. Okay. Sorry, Nick. What did you just say about Broadhead? She distracted me.
Devin, next time you see him, if he has not figured out save a horse, ride a cowboy, explain that to him. Break it down. Break it down. Don't make me break it down on the show.
Oh, Jeremy's asking weird pictures.
Oh, hi, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy's. I was gonna say would be to be honest. I'm sure Jeremy's been watching this.
Angels.
Those look to me more like devil horns.
Because you're the only one close enough and brave enough.
Save a horse.
Ride a cowboy.
Yep, he heard that. Devin also said, "Oh, God, why me though?"
Well, he's been busy. He's got it. It's okay.
No, she's asking you. Why does she have to explain?
Oh, I told her. Now, the weird picture, Jeremy, I was talking about is when I put the mouse over like one of our pictures, it dims it. And when he was showing a picture, it dimmed him. So I was wondering if when I did that, it showed on screen as well, or just for me. Right, Robert?
What? Wait, what? What did he say? Gotta have horns to rest the halo. Oh, so she's a fallen angel then.
I never claimed to be no damn angel. Except
she mama bear.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God. I just found something here. Oh, jeez, what the hell?
Oh, did you find your porn?
No, but somehow, no, I didn't. I found something else though. Something called you've heard of the Vice channel, right? Vice?
People's Vices?
No. No, it's a channel called Vice. They have a whole, it's like news, that kind of stuff, but they also talk about
okay. I was thinking people's fetishes. I'm like, Vice.
No, I did watch a series that was airing on Vice.
Brad knows I ain't.
No, I was watching a rather creepy series called Killer Kids. It was involving kids committing murder. Creepy show, definitely. But no, they have a website. There's something here called The Ghost Rapes of Bolivia.
Bye, Jeremy. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, it's good. Good luck. Yeah, something called Ghost Rapes of Bolivia. Thought demons were raping the town's woman. There was no explanation. No way of explaining how a woman could wake up with blood and semen stains smeared across her sheets and no memory of the previous night.
Okay, so she got drugged. That's one explanation. Where'd she go?
This was posted over 10 years ago, back in 2013.
Number 2, rape kit. Let's find out.
No way of explaining how another went to sleep cold only to wake up naked and covered by dirty fingerprints all over her body. No way to understand how another could dream of a man forcing himself onto her in a field and then wake up the next morning with grass in her hair.
Bad dream, and you went outside?
I don't know.
Sleepwalking?
It looks like, and it also, I didn't even know.
Right.
Well, what's interesting too is that the people that live in this part of Bolivia, in South America, surprisingly, I didn't even know they had them over there. They're Mennonites.
Okay, they're definitely having dreams because they ain't getting shit. No.
I didn't even know Bolivia had Mennonites there. Grassy ass. Okay. No
better than
comment.
sand. It's better than sand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I bet
too
they
much-
are.
Yeah, there's just too much to read though, because I wouldn't be able to read it all or anything like that. There's just a
Yeah,
lot.
let us know how those Mennonites have that happen. They need some investigation cameras in their rooms.
They're on some shit over there. Well, I mean, truth be told, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of those areas in South America are the kind of where the drug cartels get a lot of their stuff from.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're ridiculous. And okay, so they're Mennonites. How are demons getting in there?
I don't know. I just know that like Mennonites, along with a similar group of Amish people, they're very religious people.
Somebody sinned.
Yeah. I will.
Now I can tell you, I did a case.
What's that?
Wait,
There are men in tights roaming the forest looking for fights.
right? I did a case, and I won't mention names or anything like that. It's in the things files, but I did a case where somebody was conjuring the devil himself, and the other mate didn't think that was possible, so they, made fun of it and whatever. And eventually they got involved in it as well. And what is left of that case is, I don't remember if it was an incubus or succubus, but anyway, that is what's left of that case. Besides two very skeptical people of each other, and the marriage did not end up working, but it ended up pretty bad. And that was my first case with, sexual predator spirits. I believed her, but holy hell, why would you conjure some shit? And this wasn't conjuring one time. This was a year of conjuring.
Yeah. I just thought, I was just thinking too, all this talk about these type of cases on doubt. Wait, what? When a woman keeps playing with her hair, she's getting excited. Okay. No comment on that.
Len, okay. If that was a comment about what I was doing, let's go back a little bit.
Oh,
I work
God.
10-hour days. I hadn't even touched this half-assed ponytail, and I saw strings hanging out. So yeah, I'm beyond that bullshit. What excites me these days? A good investigation. A good investigation.
Your hair, Devin did say your hair is gorgeous, though.
Oh, thank you. It really needs to go, but, I'm hanging on the last bit of youth I got.
I was just thinking all this talk about cases, and I did this one time on my show, Nick Files, was when I talked about probably the most notorious case of, involving, I guess you can kind of say sexual assault that goes as the entity case. That was with Doris Bither, the Doris Bither case.
Uh-huh.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this, but about 15 years ago, one of her kids, who's now grown, he approached and really kind of talked about what really happened in that house out in what was that? That was in I know it was in California. I just can't remember exactly which. I can't remember what town that was in. It's like right in front of me, but it was somewhere not too. I think it was not too far from San Francisco. Oh wait, no. Culver City, California. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. And he said, kind of similar like in the case of the Conjuring house. He did say that while indeed his mother was attacked by like an invisible entity and even going as far as sexually assault. See, the story goes that Doris Bither said that there were 4 entities in the house. Interestingly, she said she could see them, but not only that, she also claimed that the ghosts were of Asian men. And the children also saw these beings too. But according to what one of her sons had said, they never remember, they don't, while it did happen, they never remembered the ghosts being Asian in any way, shape, or form. Most of the time, they never even really saw them. They said that part of the story that the spirits were so frequent that the children started dubbing one of the spirits as Mr. Who's It. And he did confirm there was a spirit that they did call Mr. Who's It. But as far as a lot of the other things that was going on in that house, other than the spectral rape, as it's also called, there were some other things that he didn't really think truly happened, like what you'd see, like how his mom told it, or like what you see in that movie, The Entity. What did he say? I'm really sexy as a beautiful woman in a cat suit, swishing her tail, bringing me a big string.
Been there, done that. Well, if it's attached to your behind correctly, when you walk, it's going to swish anyway.
But yeah, it's like he really kind of broke down what really happened over 50 years ago when they were living in that Culver City. And believe it or not, that Culver City house still exists today. But from all the owners that have lived after when the Bither family left, they haven't had any type of other experiences at that house. Doris claimed that she said that the activity followed her to wherever she went because she moved to different towns throughout California, then briefly moving to Texas and then moving back to California. Yeah. And she said that the activity, I don't think we're ever going to really know what really happened because sadly, Doris Bither, I mean, her death, it changes. Supposedly, she died in 1995. Other sources say she died in 1999, sometime in her late 50s. It's most watched Star Trek movie, the one with Spock's brothers in the club on another planet. Jeez.
I have seen that. Guys, we are way over.
I just realized what time. Holy cow! I didn't even.
We don't have Jeremy in the background going 5 minutes, guys.
Oh, damn it! I forgot about the time. I lost focus.
Okay, so next week, guys, we don't have a show.
We're not doing one for Halloween.
No.
Damn it! We're not going to be able to dress up in our costumes this time.
Well, we can post pictures the next week because some of us have to actually give out candy.
That, and also I might be having a party next week too.
Well, see, it's the little old lady that has to give out candy. That's going to have to be me.
I mean, that doesn't mean I'm going to be doing it too.
Robert,
it's all the saved oh God,
those saved horses are those poor little virgins that are sitting, on the edges of. Okay, they're couches. Never mind. I was going to say, like dance floor walls, but
we'll be doing a show on Halloween on Parapost Network Central. Really
awesome, Len.
Wow,
we did last year. I think it was the day before though that I dressed up.
It was.
Yeah, I've still got those contacts. I'm going to do Cemetery Bride this year.
I'm going to be. Okay, I'll just throw out real quick when I'm going to be in. And this is actually the reason why I was a few minutes late. It was because I was out of the house because I was getting the last few pieces of my costume. I'm going to be Svengoolie for Halloween. And
how fun.
Well, not just for Halloween. Also, this year marks the 45th anniversary of Svengoolie. So it's also an anniversary costume.
There's not much you have to get. Black and white paint.
Black and white paint. No, I don't even need white paint. I just need black paint and I got the goatee and mustache. I got the hat. It's unlike other costumes, like where you can't go to, like you can go to Spirit. You can't get that from Spirit Halloween or even online. You have to put it together. So I just got the black suit, the red shirt. I had to get those from Goodwill, And also, I got the rubber chicken. I got the necklace and that little pin that he wears, the skeleton pin. If you can get that online, but there's one problem. Even though it's just a little plastic thing, they're like $125.
The hell?
So my aunt, she made a replica, and even better, this one is made out of wood, and she did manage to make the legs still move around. So I got the only thing I still need is the blue handkerchief that hangs out in his pocket. But other than that, I got almost everything I need for the costume.
Walmart.
Yeah,
Hell, for that matter, tear up a blue shirt.
yeah, that too.
It is not worth money for that.
Yeah, that's why we went to Goodwill to get the red shirt and the suit.
Don't go to Goodwill. Ugh.
Oh well, no, I got a really good deal.
Oh, I'm
it was
sure
like-
you did. Problem is, those things were donated and then they sell them for profit. Bullshit.
I only got it for like $12, like both things.
And they got it for free. So look how much.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
All right, guys. As Jeremy would say, thank you for playing along. We will see you in 2 weeks, and I would say I'd clean it up in 2 weeks, but probably not.
And
Hey,
also,
And
And
Ghost
also
wants to say
before-
goodnight.
and also before we head out, I think it's probably worth saying, Happy Halloween, everybody!
Be safe.
Take care.
All right, let's see. We're going to see if we can make this work. I can't
Hopefully it
promise
does.
anything. I'm not even going to try the outro. We're just going to
Try to
shut
end it.
it down. I'm going to try. Hey, Ghost. Hey, down, baby.